I suddenly feel like I look very 90s. Hi everybody, my name is Rosalie. Welcome back to my channel, back to Chubby. Today's video is a little bit different. I just kind of got hit by a smell from this. Let me just jump into it. I asked a couple months ago if you guys wanted to see like a wish haul because I don't know why or how I wound up giving into it and getting on that app, but I bought some stuff, and everybody said sure. And so I've got the stuff here, and I'm gonna go through it with you. So let me actually just sort of run through what I've got here for you, and then I will actually tell you how it worked and how much it cost, how long it took to get it, and how well it works. So the first thing I've got is Super Europe Clean New Q. Fisheye lenses for my phone, a charger for your phone, like a hand crank charger for your phone, solar lights that are supposed to mount outside like on a fence or a post, 2 shades of eyeshadow. You've heard of Sephora, but have you heard of Foera? 2 little bottles of nail polish, which are slightly different colors. And this one is a mirrored nail polish. A ring that's supposed to be like a fake opal ring. I'll show you that here in a second. LED lamp, like for your fingernails. I got some lip gloss. This, you can't tell by my face, is an essential oil. It's supposed to be lavender. Glittery eyeliner. This, don't. This is, it doesn't look any better. It's a little nail kit, like a Dremel tool for your nails. And it's battery operated. It doesn't sound any better either. It's gonna get content flagged. I have to appeal, explain what that is. And another little ring. I think that's it. I think I've done pretty well about putting everything in that basket as I get it after I like test it out, but let me just double check because knowing me. So I just spent like 10 minutes looking for it. I can't find it, but it's supposed to be like OPI or OP nail polish. I think I already filmed it though. We'll see. Okay, so just a couple quick notes for you. There are several things that I filmed, like trying out different nail polishes and stuff, on this sort of blue, like little lap table thing that my brother-in-law gave me a long time ago. And I use it for a lot of stuff, so it's pretty torn up. It doesn't look that great, but that's neither here nor there. The problem is, I think because of the color, it was throwing off the white balance part of the time. So things might look a little bit yellowy orange, and I will try and fix it as much as I can, but I didn't realize it was doing that until after I filmed everything, obviously. But I think you'll still be able to get the general idea of what was happening. So let me start with the stuff that I don't really have to demo for you first. The first of which is this little ring. So let's start with how long it takes to get this stuff. As I mentioned, a lot of stuff comes from China. A lot of the stuff that we get in America is made in China or other countries, but when you buy it here, you are paying a marked up cost. So in China, it might cost $1 to make something, and then they've got to let it sit in the warehouse until they get a distributor. Then you are paying for that time that it sits on the warehouse. You're paying for the cost for the distributor to bring it from that country here. You're paying for that distributor to move it through customs, to get it to their stores, how long it stays on their shelves, the cost of them advertising, the storefront, etc. There are a lot of different things that go into the cost. So part of the reason it's so cheap to buy it from Wish is you're just buying it directly from the person. And so sometimes people will ask, well, why is it free? Again, if you've got hundreds or thousands of a product and they aren't selling, you can make more just charging a little bit more for shipping on something, or you can just get it out of your warehouse and not have to pay a dumping fee. If you sell something for nothing and you just charge someone the shipping, you're getting it out of your warehouse, You don't have to pay a fee to dump it somewhere, or you don't have to dump it. There's a documentary that I need to find the name of that is about the toll that dumping a lot of stuff, especially electronics, is having on China right now. And it is horrifying. There's terrible environmental concerns right now with things just being dumped there. So it's probably better for both the environment and for the producer if they can just get it out of there. So if you're willing to just pay for the effort to get it from there to here and take it off their hands, that's probably better. Now, sometimes, is it too good to be true? Sure. Sometimes, is it a great deal? Sure. Sometimes, are you getting what you pay for? Yeah. But we'll get there. So let me back up. I placed 2 wish orders, and both of them were fairly, I don't say fairly substantial, but both of them had like 5-ish things in it. So I ordered this on January 27th, and it said it would take until about March 16th to get here. So about a month and a half is what they estimate for things to get here. I think I got it in about 3 weeks, so about half the time that they said it would take. But do just expect that it's going to take a long time to get here. A, because it's got to go through customs. B, because it's got to travel halfway around the world. And C, because you're not paying very much for shipping. You are just paying to get it here, not for like next day delivery. There are some items where you can pay for next day delivery or find things that are already housed here at a warehouse in the United States and you can buy it from them. It's usually going to cost quite a bit more. Most things just sort of come in this little bubble mailer. That's usually it. These do usually come from China, so it'll take a while for them to get here. But you'll usually know when it arrives because it will have custom stamps on it, or it might not be in English. This one actually came from Kyrgyzstan. I'm not actually sure if I'm saying that right. Kyrgyzstan. Well, listen, probably definitely not saying it right. So for things like this, I paid 85 cents for this little ring. It's just a little plain gold ring. I think it's cute. It's pretty simple. There's nothing special about it, but it was 85 cents. And I think to get it here, the shipping was $1. Sometimes things will come in the same package. Oftentimes they will ship individually because they're coming from different companies or different places. But I think it's cute. It's just a plain little ring for 85 cents or $1.85 if you want to look at it that way. So for this little 85-cent ring, I think it's worth it. Now I did have to wait a while for it to get here, but that's okay. So also, just to break it down a little bit more, the shipment I ordered this in had 5 things, and I paid $12.70 for all 5 things combined, and then I paid $12 for shipping. So for 5 things, it was $25-ish. The other order I placed had 12 things in it, and I paid $16 for those 12 things and $18 for the shipping. So altogether on the products themselves, I spent less than I did on the shipping, but the shipping is about equal. More or less, I spent $60-ish altogether. Another thing I don't really have to demonstrate for you is this essential oil. It's sealed. It's as sealed as I can make it. The baggie is sealed. It came in a bubble mailer and it was sealed. And they had like 20 different scents to choose from. This is supposed to be lavender. I've had lavender essential oils. I have had the knockoff fragrance and I've had the essential oil. This don't smell like lavender to me. I don't know what this is. It's not good. It reeks through this baggie. I'm not using this. It was $1, and I think the shipping was like $1 or $2. And I thought it was worth a try because essential oils here are usually around $4, and you don't get quite this much, and they don't come with a little dropper. This is a hard pass for me. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of it after I'm done filming this video. I didn't try diffusing it or anything because I just can't. Another thing I would show you is this. So ideally with this, a USB thing will plug in here, and you crank this little thing. This little light lights up red to show you that it's charging. But Josh and I started playing with it when it got here, and I don't know if you can tell, we broke it. We found out several things though. This was 85 cents. So I wasn't expecting miracles. But we've got like a hand crank flashlight in case of emergencies, and we've got a couple other things like that, like a hand crank weather radio. We're not like crazy prepper people, but we do live in a place where there are tornadoes and flooding. Lately there have been earthquakes because of fracking. Ooh. You can kind of hear it there. Anyway, it just doesn't hurt to be prepared. I've got like a charging bank that I keep in my purse, but it wouldn't hurt to have something like this, right? Well, we found out first that the phone needs to be off, or else it'll just drain the battery faster than this can replenish it. We cranked it for about 5 or 6 minutes to get it to go up 1%, and then it broke. It's a cool idea, and you can get nicer ones of these on Amazon or something, but nah. These things were the most expensive thing that I bought. So out of this order where I spent $16, 10 of it was just on these. They come with the little things that you need, anchors and screws to mount it. And it comes with 2 lights. You can also just order 1 light. They also had the option to get black or red or something. These ones also come with instructions, which a lot of the things that we bought on here did not. So you sort of just squeeze the plastic here and it pops off. And it's got a battery in here. One of them came loose, but you just pull this off and pop it in. And then there's a little button here where you can turn it on and off. I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty bright. For $5 a piece, basically, it works in here. I mean, even just putting it in shadow rather than covering it all the way makes them turn on. So I haven't mounted this, obviously. I haven't even taken off the like protective tape, but it works. They work fine for $10. The sun just went behind a cloud and the light just turned on. So I think it'll probably work. Other thing I want to show you guys is these Flora ones. And they come in a cute little box. That's fine. Sometimes you want to be a little bit careful when you are getting cosmetics from China, because they have different safety standards than we do. So there are some things that they are allowed to put in their makeup, like lead, that you can't here in the United States for good reason. These don't have lead in them, good to know. And they've actually got the ingredients listed on the back in English, which is nice. And then on the side, they also have a little description that's the same for every color. And it says, Flora Revolutionary Cream Powder Eyeshadow, famous for its unique bouncy texture, delivers bold metallic foiled color in one swipe without creasing, fading, or fallout. That might be a bit of a bold statement. This is one of my main problems. See this? It is almost impossible to get this open. So I got this one, which just looks sort of pink right here. And this is number 115, Widow. And this one is number 104, Nicole. This is what Widow, or the pink one, looks like on Wish. This is what it looks like in real life. Not exactly the coral color that I thought it would be, but that's okay. It comes out really pigmented, and if you put it on, it is very pigmented. It's not like one swipe. I paid $1 for this one and $2 for this one. And I was expecting like little shimmery dust speckles or something in there. Some of these shadows, obviously they have used a contour color, or they've used another, like several other colors around. It just sort of comes out brown, copper, bronze. It's fine. It's just Not what I thought. And that seems to be an issue with a lot of Wish stuff. It's fine. It's just not what I thought. But I have worn this one and it didn't crease and it stayed where it was and there wasn't a lot of fallout. So on that end, yeah, it held up with what it was saying. I haven't actually tried this one so much because until now I couldn't get the stupid box open and I didn't want to rip it too much. Before I show you some more makeup, another thing I want to show you is this. This is supposed to be look like an opal. This is what it looked like on Wish. Now, I'm not dumb. I know this is gonna be a fake opal, right? I know that. But it doesn't even look like a fake opal. It looks like a glob of resin with some glitter in it. It's not, it didn't try that hard. Like, it's fine, I guess. I might give it to like a little cousin or one of my cousin's kids or something, but I don't know. I mean, it fits. It came with the size it said it would. It's just, yeah. I mean, I feel like it looks like costume jewelry, and I don't even mean costume jewelry. I mean like cosplayer jewelry. Like someone literally got resin and made some molds. And I mean, I've seen some pretty awesome cosplay jewelry that would have turned out better than this, I think. For $1, it's fine. If I had seen it in person, would I have spent $1? No. Next, I have Ultra Matte Long Lasting Lip Gloss. This one also has the ingredients on the back for you. This is another issue of it being fine, but not what I thought I was getting. So I have worn this one a little bit more. This is number 4, and this is what it looked like on Wish. So a lot of times on Wish, you will see things like this and it will just give you a number. So like number 12, number 11. Now this is maybe my fault because I looked at the lips instead of this, but even still, it's not quite the same. I thought I was getting this color and I got corally peachy pink. It just doesn't go with my skin tone. Let me just show you. So, I don't know if you can tell, it's not really my color. It smells fine, and if you give it a minute, it dries down. It's pretty matte, and it does last a long time. It's just not me. It's fine. If this is your color, I'd say go for it. For, what was this one? This was $1. It's fine. I've got very sensitive skin. I didn't have any kind of reaction to it. Doesn't have any lip plumping or anything like that. It stays on well. It goes on well. It dries down pretty good. There's not a lot of, maybe here right in the corner of your mouth there's some stickiness, but there's not a lot of drag, if you know what I mean. It's fine. It's just not what I thought I was getting. It's on now, so let's keep going. The next piece of makeup that I got is from Hang Fang. Other than Liquid Last Liner, there's nothing in English on the packaging. This is a liquid liner. Works best if you shake it. It's supposed to be a glittery liquid liner, and it is. So, I mean, that looks fine, but you can also sort of build it up. This one, I think, is pretty close to what I thought I was getting. You can also sort of smudge it and make it, use it more like a shadow. Also, once it dries, it's pretty on there. It doesn't crease a lot or anything. Let me go ahead and try and put it on my eyes. I don't wear, I wear my glasses almost all the time now. Well, all the time. I look weird to myself if I don't have them on now. Also, just ignore my eyebrows. They're doing whatever they want to do. So, as you might be able to tell there, that's just a line. I can let it dry and go over it again here in a sec. Let me do the other side real quick. Again, I've got pretty sensitive skin, especially sensitive eyes. Like if something in makeup is gonna make me have sort of a reaction, my eye will water. Well, specifically my left eye will water, which is also why I've normally got sort of a like raw spot over here, because when it waters I gotta keep wiping it away. But even though I can't actually read the ingredients in this, I haven't had any sort of reaction to it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's like a guarantee that there's nothing bad in there or nothing that you'll have a reaction to, but if you've got fairly sensitive eyes, well, I would try it somewhere that wasn't your eyes first. Not like me, I just sort of went for broke, I guess. So that's what it looks like on as a liner, which just goes really great with this bright pink lipstick. If you've got like a special event or something and you want to use it as an actual shadow, you definitely can. And I think it blends pretty well both over and under other makeup. It does take a little bit to dry, a little bit longer than regular liquid liner, I think because of the glitter in it. Watch me have to like go on an errand after this. Okay, so I don't have any regular liner on or anything, but works okay. I mean, it goes on, it blends pretty well with other shadow. So I guess I could have done like a full face of Wish makeup, but these are the only things I got as far as makeup goes. I did go a little bit crazy on nail polish though. So, as I said, don't think that this is what it's not. I filmed this one up close so that you could actually see how it works, but it is essentially a little nail Dremel tool. It says nail decorator. It came in this little pouch and it came with some very basic instructions, but overall you just use it to shape and buff and, you know, work on your nails. If you guys know me, you know I'm a pretty big nail person. I like having really nice fingernails. I don't right this second because I'm getting ready to try out that little LED lamp, but overall I like having my nails done. I don't remember the last time I had my nails done by a professional, so I've got a little gel set up myself. I do it myself. If you go in to a nail salon, sometimes they'll use the little buffer thing and they will break that top couple coats on the gel polish so that the acetone can get deeper underneath there and lift it up off your nail without damaging your nail. So I've been sort of like buffing it with a nail file or what have you to break that seal, but I was really hoping one of these would work. I mean, kind of. If I spend a lot of time, I can get it to go all the way through the nail polish, but I found in the end it was better for me to just go ahead and soak off the nail polish and then use this to clean up. So it comes with several different heads. There's one that's sort of like a flat emery board tip, one that's a metal grinding file, one that's a buffing tip, and then two that are much finer sanding things. So like if you've got ridges on your nails or something, these would work really well. I used the buffing tip to try and see how shiny it could get my natural nail. It did okay, but I've also got one of those little blocks that you can get for like $2. I mean, now granted, this was $1, but You can go to Walmart and for like $2 get the little self buffer blocks. They take a little bit more time, but they got it quite a bit more shiny in my opinion. So I'm sure you could get different heads for these because I think it's made to fit standard heads. Don't quote me on that, but from what I can tell and from what I've seen, it's made to fit just standard little Dremel heads. You could probably go to Sally Beauty or something and get a different head for it. It's a pretty decent little charge, and it just uses 2 or 3 AA batteries. 2 AA batteries. So once I got my gel polish off, I decided to try out some of the nail polish. I don't use gel polish on my toenails just because that'd just be a nightmare to get off. This is not the bottle I got. I can't find it, and I'm too lazy to go do it right now. But I got some Olpe or OPI nail polish, and I paid $3 for it. Normally, OPI where I live is $8 to $12 depending. So that seemed like a pretty decent price, and it was a brand I've heard of. Now, I wasn't expecting it to 100% be OPI because I usually really like their stuff. I was expecting either maybe it was a knockoff or it was sort of a thinned out version, or they just got the bottles and put something else in it. Now, there are a couple different things about that polish that lead me to believe it wasn't 100% OPI, maybe? First off, it was coming out really clear, and usually OP gives sort of a good coverage. This one came out pretty clear, and I had to do several coats to get a good coverage. It just seemed kind of runny compared to usual, and so that tells me either that batch wasn't great, and that's part of why they were able to have so much of it so inexpensively, so that I could get it inexpensively. You can get nail polish thinner, so maybe they got some bottles and spread out the same amount of paint over multiple bottles and added in thinner or filler to make it go further. One thing that also tells me it might not have been 100% legit is that a lot of the things on here, even if they're sold out, I can click on it and go to that page and it'll say which sold out, or you can buy more. If I click on the OPI one, it just tells me there's an error and the page can't be found over and over and over again, and I've tried it from a couple different platforms. So they might have been taken down for sort of defrauding people, I don't know. And it's a pretty big claim to make without being able to back it up with anything, so I'm just saying that's a possibility. I'm not saying 100% that's what happened. I'm just saying I don't think it was what it should have been. But I mean, for $3 it was fine. It just wasn't this. But I got 3 other colors of nail polish as well. The only English on the box is Shine Nail Polish, but this one is 14. I think this one is number 1. It doesn't actually say. Number 1 is a sort of silvery, gunmetal-y silver color, and number 14 is sort of a, rose gold color. They do separate pretty bad, so you've got to shake them pretty well. These were each $1, and it's also, the silver one's a lot thinner. You can hear the shake versus this one. So when it's more mixed up, you can hopefully see it's considerably pinker. One coat goes on just a little bit streaky, tell here, but it is pretty shiny. The silver goes on a little bit better with one coat. So I don't know if you can actually tell the difference there between the sort of goldish one and the just straight silver one. They both go on pretty well, so they're both fine, especially for $1. They're fine. This silver is fine, but what I really wanted was this. So this silver compared to this sort of gunmetal probably doesn't look as shiny, but so this comes as a set, and there's this one which you can see is just super liquidy in there. And then there's this white sort of thicker goop stuff. These together make like mirror shine nail polish, like super shiny. If you're careful, it actually works. The problem is how long it lasts. Well, there's a couple problems. I tried it a couple different ways because the instructions were not clear at all. The closest to instructions you can get are this single slide on Wish that tell you to do something. However, someone in the comments mentioned using the top coat, someone else mentioned using the bottom coat, and you could tell they were talking about this. Someone else said using it both twice, so I tried it a couple different ways. One of my first problems is that this goes everywhere. It is so light, like the actual formula is so light that you go smooth and slow and it just flings off the end of your nail. I don't understand how it got everywhere. I feel like I have a fairly smooth hand when I'm painting my nails, and I feel like I don't get just super crazy carried away. It was all over the table. It was all over my shirt. It got on my feet somehow. I don't understand how it was doing this. And I tried it a couple times. Each time, no matter how slow, like you can't go too slow because it dries so fast. It's almost like if you've ever wiped a clean fingernail with acetone, how it's there, it's wet, and then it's evaporated and it's gone. It's like that. It's wet, it's there, and then the moisture is evaporated and it's dry. So on one hand, I like how fast that goes. On the other hand, there is no room for mistakes. And if you go back over it a second time, it will pick up parts of itself and smear it or make weird little dents in it. Every mistake you make can be seen. Every brush stroke can be seen. So I've tried it both putting this down first, then this. I tried doing this, and I tried doing this, then this, then this. I also tried doing this, then a regular top coat. The thing that seems to work the best is this, then this, then this. Because it looks the best, and also because that seems to be how you get it to stick as long as possible. If you just do this and then this will wear off. And I don't mean like chip at the end, I mean like slowly be ground away throughout the day, just rubbing against clothes or what have you. I can't say that it leaves any residue or anything like that, so that's fine. But by the end of the day, you're left with almost a clear nail on top and just sort of a dirty gray ring around your nail. And even worse, this stains your nails. So you're left with this sort of dirty ring around here, and then you take it off and your nails, especially the white part at the end, are just sort of grungy looking. And just like it seems to fling everywhere, it seems to be like really liquid and go around all the crevices. So you can be careful not to touch your skin and it'll go out to the edge of your skin. You can be careful to not touch like the side of your nail and it like pulls around and under your nails. I don't know how it does it. I don't know what's in it. It's probably something terrible for you. But it's beautiful. Okay, so that just leaves 3 more things to test out. This. So we've got this big fisheye lens with a cap on it. We've got a clamp that the lenses screw into. We've got a medium fisheye lens with a cap and a small fisheye lens with no cap. They arrived, I don't know if you probably can't tell, they arrived with several scratches on them. For example, putting a cap on the other side of this doesn't protect the back side. And this one I can already tell has a flaw. I don't know if you can see right there, there is a bubble thing in the glass. This one is covered in scratches. Also, the caps are pretty hard to get off, so you've got to screw this on to take a cap off. This one looks mostly clean, but it does look like there's a little bit of dust behind the front lens. So you definitely see this red ring around it right here. And it's a little bit more pronounced if you just take a picture. This is what I can see without it. Okay, so taking the case off and effectively moving this closer to the phone doesn't make any difference. You can still see the red part there. It's definitely not clearer. This one is so shallow, it's hard to get it to screw in. Okay, so I can get close enough to see my fingerprint and the scar on my finger. All right, okay, okay, look at that. You can see like individual brush strokes. This one's actually pretty cool. I like this one. This one's pretty neat. I wish it wasn't scuffed, but it's pretty cool. I thought I just got a set of fishbowl lenses. I didn't know that one of them was a macro lens. Does this one say anything on the side? It says it's for digital cameras and mobile phones. I don't know what digital camera needs this sort of clip setup, but this one is a wide angle. This one is really blurry. Is it just dirty? Okay, so this one is not like a super close up. This one is this one says 0.67 times wide. So it's supposed to be like a little bit wider shot, but not full fishbowl. And from what I'm seeing on here, it does do that. It does make a shot wider, but you can see how dang blurry it is. I don't know, because it's not the camera. And then we're blurry again. And it doesn't really seem to matter how close or how far I get. It's just not good. That's okay. I like the macro lens. That one works really well. So I'm gonna go try this before I do my nails because it's gonna get dark outside. So let's go ahead and open Super Europe Clean New You. It is a Ziploc seal, so I don't know if this is made to be reused. Ooh. I grew up like in the 80s and 90s. You remember those like slimy hands you would sling at things? They still have them, but and they would stick to the wall. Oh dear. Oh no. That's kind of what this is. It's like a big old ball of slime.
So is it like reusable?
Yeah, I think so. For the most part, it's working, but it is sometimes it'll leave behind a little bit. You can see the like dirty parts there. So I went and used this on my car, like on the vents and stuff. It is way less wet once you've used it for a little bit. Like it doesn't leave sticky stuff on your hands, but if you just sort of do that, it's gone. You can see the stuff is still in there. It's pretty gross, but it does a pretty good job of getting in all the different like nooks and crannies. So I mean, for $1, I'd say this was probably worth it. I like to have things clean, and they never are clean for me, so I'll use this. I'll probably take it to work and clean my keyboard. It just looks like a giant booger. Okay, so finally, this is the only thing I have left to use. It came like this, in this bubble wrapping, but it came in a package that was sort of like this, like it was just paper. It has a charging cord that goes in this side, and it plugs into a USB charger. It doesn't come with a charger, so I'm just going to use, you know, the USB charger I've got for a bunch of other stuff. I'm not sure how well it's going to work for several reasons. First of all, this plastic end doesn't seem very well fitted to the other plastic end, or on this end. It just seems pretty loosely put together. The spot right here has just 3 lights, a button on the top that's very loose in here, and worst of all, it sounds like this. And it came that way. Or, well, it got here that way. So I'm gonna plug this in and try it out, and then I'll give you an overall breakdown. Also, this is how long the cord is, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I've got both of them here. This is the one I got from Wish, and this is the one I've been using for like 2 or 3 years. They both have a button on the top. This one you've got to turn on the back, and then you push the button. This one stays on for 60 seconds and it beeps at the 30-second mark. This one, you push the button, and I wasn't sure if it would just stay on until you turn it off, but it seems to just stay on for 30 seconds and then turns off. And so if you have a kind that you need to do for 60 seconds, you hit the button a second time and that's it. This one, if you want to turn it off midway, you've got to turn the switch off on the back. This one you can turn off partway. So far, this one actually has some advantages. I'm still not sure how the LED situation is going to work out though. Okay, so it worked. I actually did one pinky just to see if it was actually going to work or if I need to redo it somehow. Then realized I didn't record any of it. So I did the other pinky. They both work. They work fine. Long story short, let me break down what I think of Wish overall. I think you can get some good deals. I think they are going to be less frequent than the things you get that are fine, but weren't what you thought you were getting. I think the things that are fine, but weren't what you thought you were getting are going to be more frequent though than things that either just didn't work or came busted or just were sort of janky. Overall, there were only 3.5 things I got that I was actually disappointed in. The first was this little hand crank charger. I wasn't expecting miracles, but I also didn't think it would break after the first use. The next was this little super bad ring. Like from here, from far away, it looks okay. But just trust me, it's not great. And the other was this supposedly lavender essential oil, which just reeks. And then 3.5 would be this lens. It just does nothing but blur everything. Everything else I got mostly did what it said it was supposed to do. Some of them were great. The car cleaner thing, I love for some reason. This lamp that was only $2 works just as well as my lamp that was dozens of dollars. That is a great deal, and that's a good backup for mine that sounds like it's dying. I don't know what's rattling around in there, but $2 for that is pretty awesome. I really like these things. I just need to go install them now. These other lenses, like the fishbowl lens and the macro lens especially is amazing, especially for these being $1. This, even though it's not a color I would ever wear, does what it says it's gonna do. It is a matte lipstick. It does go on well. It stays on a long time. It does dry out your lips just like every other matte lipstick. It smells fine. It doesn't have a taste, and it doesn't get all weird and sticky after a while. If you're just careful to get the right color, this stuff is fine for $1. The eyeshadow, both of these are fine. Again, just make sure you're getting a color that you actually think you're getting. Read some of the reviews. This stuff is great. It would look probably better if I had on like a liquid liner over it right now. This stuff, while messy and not lasting as long as I wish it would, is beautiful, especially if you're gonna wear it for like a special occasion or a special night or something. Both of these are fine. They're great for being, dollar nail polish. Just make sure you shake them up really well. The OPI nail polish is fine for a $3 bottle of nail polish. I don't know that it is OPI. I really liked the color. It was true to the color it said it was gonna be. It just was a little bit thin, but I can make that work. This thing works fine for buffing your nails. If your nails aren't super ridged or super thick, or if they are rather, this would be fine to wear down some of those ridges. I don't know that it won't really eat through gel polish like I hoped it would, but it does help with nail ridges, things like that, or shaping and buffing. It's not top of the line, but again, it's $1. Oh, and this thing, I like this thing too. I'd say overall my experience with Wish has been positive. I would say to make sure you read the reviews. Always read the reviews and not just the first 3 that are listed. Look at the overall rating. Don't expect it to get there in time because you are paying for something to come from China. And also remember that you are paying for, like, you're getting what you pay for. If you're gonna spend $1 on a nail tool, you're gonna get $1 nail tool. But I don't think it is a complete rip-off. I think there are valid reasons and ways to get people really cheap products. And a lot of people just aren't considering that. Disclaimer, because I always have to do that, this is not sponsored by Wish, nor is it sponsored by any of these products. I paid my own money for everything. I'm not getting paid to talk to you about it. I'm not getting paid to send you there. I don't know. I never do haul videos. I think this is the first one I've ever done. But I wouldn't mind doing like some plus-sized clothing hauls, but also I still don't want to show myself very much, but maybe I can figure something out there. Anyway, overall, I'd say Wish is fine. Is it like just amazing? No. Is it a complete scam and a complete ripoff? No. It's fine. And a lot of the stuff you get from it will be fine. So I say as long as you go into it with the mindset that you're gonna keep in mind it'll take a while to get there, keep in mind you're getting what you pay for, and always read the reviews, you should be fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up for today. Let me know if you guys would like to see more haul videos in the future. This is my first time, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a really long cut. I have a feeling it's gonna be a fairly long video because I always feel like there's a lot of stuff I need to talk about. So let me know if you think they might need to be shorter. Part of it might have been that it was like I don't know, over a dozen items they talked about here. So I'll keep that in mind in the future. But let me know if this is something you'd like to see more of in the comments down below. I hope wherever you guys are, you are safe and happy and healthy. Remember to just keep trying the best you can. Also read the reviews before you buy something, and I will see you soon. Bye.